Hey everybody, I'm Lzzy.
And I'm Arejay from the band Halestorm.
And right now you are watching the Kerrang podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Kerrang podcast. You've been in the UK for about a week now?
Yeah, what, a week?
Yeah.
Almost a week and a half, yeah.
It's been about 7 shows so far, yeah.
Yeah, it's been your first sort of headline tour.
Incredible.
It's been awesome. It's our first time ever headlining overseas, so we really have no idea what to expect at all. And so the fact that there's a lot of sold out shows and people are coming, they're so loud. It's awesome.
It's exceeded our expectations.
Yeah.
It's incredible. We kind of had a clue because we did Download Festival how crazy people are.
Yeah, but we still didn't think that they would,
come out and see
just us. Like, you know amazing, that Iron Maiden isn't, with us.
So, what would you have been happy with? Because you mentioned it exceeded expectations. What was?
Well, we were expecting like our first headline tour in the States, where it was maybe 30 people, as opposed to nearly 1,000 people every night. So it's pretty amazing, yeah.
Yeah, the past couple shows have been like what, 1,200 capacity, and so it's been really cool. But I mean, we would play the same show for 3 people as well.
We're just excited to be over here, so
we're just happy to be here, but
people are great.
It's like an added perk. So.
I mean, what's been your highlight of the tour?
The British accent. Right? I'm loving hearing it every day. I love the way people talk, and we kind of slip into it sometimes, and we want to reassure people that we're not mocking it. We just love it so much. It sounds like music to us. Everyone sounds so intelligent.
You got a pair of panties thrown up at you on stage.
Yes, I got a pair of knickers. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. Yeah, that's really cool.
They matched his hair. They were
everything's been a highlight.
Yeah.
No, they weren't made of hair.
That would be weird. It was made of hair.
Interesting item. Yeah.
So, which accents do you struggle with in the UK?
What, to understand?
Yeah.
The Scottish.
Well, the Scottish accent's pretty thick.
Because it's funny because they're speaking English, but for some odd reason it's just everybody speaks very fast, and I feel bad because I was in an interview and I had to ask the guy about 3 times to ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's mine.
That and Leeds for me. Going into any place, went to some chicken place called Nando's, and I had to ask her to repeat like 3 or 4 times. Everyone is very thick over there.
I think we need to brush up on our English.
Yeah, it's us. We don't know proper English. So,
so a lot of bands mention Nando's. It seems to be.
I didn't go. He did.
The band that's with us is from Britain, and they're called Heaven's Basement. They
recommend.
They were like, you have to go to Nando's. I'm like, all right, I'll go. Let's go now.
Yeah, see, I went with my
chicken and chips
guitar player because he wanted a pint somewhere, and they were serving it at Nando's. So
yeah.
No beer. Well, actually, they did have beer at Nando's.
Oh, I should tell him.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, you've been to the UK quite a lot now. Are there any places you particularly enjoy revisiting, or do you have a list of places to go?
As far as the city and the landscapes and the architecture in London's gorgeous, beautiful city.
It had been a dream of ours to play our own show in London, so the fact that it's happening is amazing, and it's weird. Like, I'll be up on stage these past couple shows and just thinking about when we were kids and like, do you think we'll ever do our own show overseas? And every time we came over here, we're opening up for people, and it was really exciting. But this is definitely a dream come true for us.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Like, minutes before the first headline show in the UK, was it like, did you have a moment where like, oh, this is actually happening?
Yeah, it's actually here. Yeah. We literally looked at each other and the crowd started chanting, and we're like, oh my gosh, they're all here for us, and it's really strange. And your heart starts pounding, and you're like, all right, let's go do it. And we had the best time. Like, we were like just goofing off at each other, on stage, and just making fun of each other.
Yeah.
It was.
We're all playing rental gear over here, so guaranteed something will go wrong during the show. So it's very, very. It's very, very human.
Yeah.
our show is a rock and roll show for sure.
What's been your most embarrassing stage moment?
Well, you ended up playing.
I hit myself in the eye with a drumstick and really
was,
hard.
Everyone thought he was emotional.
I was like, I'm like tearing up, and because of the fact my eyes are tearing up, I'm like, you know, my nose is running, I'm drooling, I'm just like snot and drool and tears flying everywhere. It was
like, you really got into
rock
that
and roll.
Song. You're so emotional.
Oh, it still
no,
hurts.
He just hit himself in the eye.
And another embarrassing moment. Our drum, we like to during our drum solo, I'll usually bust out these gigantic drumsticks just for sheer entertainment, and our drum tech left them at the first show, so we didn't have any for a couple dates. So I was running around looking for something to use, and I found 2 umbrellas, and I was like, well, that makes sense. It rains a lot in England, so they'll get the joke. And I played with umbrellas for.
You didn't tell us either. We're like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
There's not much that can embarrass us anymore, though.
We like to call it more whimsical than embarrassing. Yeah. So we were like, oh, we meant to do that. You know?
How would you sum up 2012 or 2012 for Halestorm?
Busy. 2012 has
really
been
busy,
our busiest year. It's funny because this is the first time that we've been touring that we know where we're going to be like a year and a half in advance, which we've never really had that before. Usually it's like halfway through whatever tour we're on currently at the moment. That's when we find out what we're going to be doing the next tour, you know. And so it's
the whole year was booked completely, booked solid. You know, we have maybe about a week off for every 2 months around that, yeah, so...
what do you do in that week off?
Sleep.
I don't even unpack my suitcase. I live out of a suitcase and sleep, and it's kind of weird because you're used to being on tour, you're used to the routine.
Yeah.
You wake up, you know, breakfast, press, interview, meet and greet, show, you know, and everything, but and then you go home, you're like, no, what am I supposed to do all day?
Yeah.
You know?
We end up getting into trouble. We'll go to, you know, the bars with friends or something.
Oh, look, a bottle of wine that hasn't been opened yet.
Hey.
Come here, my friend.
It's dangerous when we don't have anything to do.
I know, we're just like,
So now you know that you know the year's been so regimented for you. What does September to Christmas look like?
More touring.
Yeah, we're here. We're overseas through October.
Yeah, we're doing Europe after the UK, a bunch of Europe, and then Scandinavia, and then Russia, and then Japan. And then we go back to the States. So we basically do a lap around the planet pretty much, and then back to the States, and then we have like a week off, and then we do start our headline tour in the States within this moment. So we're excited, yeah.
Excellent. So what's been the highlight of the year then to round this off?
Oh wow.
You're looking at it.
Yeah, definitely. We were just talking about that yesterday. It's like I think that this has been it's just such an incredible milestone for us as a band.
Yeah.
Arejay and I have been doing this since I was 13 and he was 10 years old. So the fact that we'd been talking about this and just wanting to do a headlining tour overseas, just the fact that we're here.
We've been playing in Halestorm longer than we haven't been playing in Halestorm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Through our entire lives.
Don't do the math.
So it's pretty much, this is our life, you know, so it's amazing that it's catching on, that we're getting a lot of love over here, and, you know, it's just great. Love it, you know. There's
something different that happens every day, too, and just being able to travel and meet so many great people. It's inspiring, and something that I think that the fans should know is that, you know, we get a lot of people coming like, oh, you've inspired us to do this or that, and it's kind of comes full circle because as we see you guys and you guys make us feel something and we get to hear your stories, and you guys in turn end up inspiring us.
It's great to come over here and see that there's still a great home for rock music. You know, it's pretty obvious. Going to Download Festival, you know, and playing in front of 100-something thousand people, as opposed to the festivals in the States, which are only like maybe around, maybe the biggest one is maybe like 50,000, maybe 60,000. So it's pretty it's inspirational to get to come over here and be a rock band.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the Kerrang podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me, Lzzy.
Hey, anytime.
Appreciate it. Yeah.